The craziest day of my life happened on an ordinary Saturday in my early 20s. This was back in my Broadway days, where I was in this off-Broadway show where I had this pseudo-director kind of role called a dance captain, which I did in addition to my part in the ensemble. We had just finished the matinee and were about 45 minutes away from the next performance when suddenly one of my fellow actresses fell sick.
Dramatic jazz hands.
And, wouldn't you know, the understudy was also sick.
Double dramatic jazz hands.
And the girl who fills in for the understudy had recently been fired, so despite the hundreds of people waiting in the lobby, they were about to have to cancel the show.
So jazz hands.
But wait, suddenly, the stage manager has a brilliant idea. He says, well, Casey has a pseudo-director kind of job. Well, Casey kind of knows the part. Let's throw Casey in someone else's costume with 45 minutes notice and have Casey go on. And what happens next is, of course, what makes this the craziest day of my life. I say yes. Why, you ask? I know, but I did, and it happened, and it went okay. I mean, not the best performance of my life, but it was fine, and no one died, and now I can literally do anything because I have lived through and survived my actual worst nightmare. So what did I learn that day? What wisdom did I glean? Well, I learned that sometimes in life, you should just tell people to f*** off. Tell them no, absolutely not. Just say no, you can say no. And also, I learned a thing or two about managing anxiety. So here is the 4-step cure for managing anxiety in any situation, even those of the, oh my god, I'm living through my actual worst nightmare variety. I'm Casey Renee Rogers, and you are watching Accountability TV with me, Casey, your accountability buddy. Step 1. Fake it till you make it. Or as I like to say, practice it until you become it. One of the big punchlines of life is that most people suffer from at least a little bit of imposter syndrome. Even the most successful among us. I mean, if Albert Einstein, Serena Williams, and Tom Hanks all feel like imposters, Tom Hanks. Tom Forrest Gump Hanks. How are the rest of us supposed to stand a chance? The trick isn't to try and dissolve your imposter syndrome altogether, which, trust me, can be very hard to do. The trick is to just fake it till you make it. To act as if you're confident or relaxed or, I don't know, the type of person who can go on for a role they don't play with 45 minutes notice. At first, you'll feel quite a bit of cognitive dissonance where you'll just feel kind of off, kind of wrong. But over time, if you just fake your way through it, that feeling will start to dissipate. And slowly, over time, with practice, you'll start to feel less and less like an imposter. Until one day, voila, you realize, holy crap, I'm doing this. I'm actually pulling this off. I can do this. Step 2. Stop making it about you. The more we fixate on how we look, how we feel, how we are being perceived, the more likely we are to feel anxious. But if we're able to draw our focus outward to the people around us, to get curious and focused on them, the less likely we are to fixate on ourselves and the less likely we are to feel anxious. Plus, just being really present and focused on whoever you're talking to will put them at ease, which will, in turn, put you at ease. So really look into their eyes, try and read their expression, ask them questions about them and their lives rather than talking about yourself and trying to impress them. If you stay present to what's happening in front of you, you'll simply have less bandwidth to obsess about yourself. Step 3. Reframe how you're feeling. So we think emotions start in the brain, but actually they start in the body. The sweaty palms, the tight chest, the heart beating rapidly. That all happens before we have the thought, oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to go on for a role where I don't know the lines. How is this real life? I can't believe this is happening to me. While we may not have control over this bodily fight or flight response, we do have control over how we interpret our shaking, our breathing, our bulging eyeballs. Instead of labeling this all as anxiety, we can choose to call it excitement or focus or beast mode. They've done many studies on this, and it turns out that people who decide to rebrand their nerves as excitement perform better in nearly all situations, from sports to public speaking to negotiations. Step 4. Take care of your body. Your physical well-being is not separate from your mental well-being. So eat well, exercise, sleep, don't overdo it on the coffee, and your anxiety will lessen naturally. Your gut health in particular plays a big role in emotional regulation. So make sure you're taking those probiotics and eating that sauerkraut. So there you have it. Just follow these 4 simple steps and you too can make all of your wildest nightmares a reality.